It's great to be here, obviously. Very proud of our team. Very proud of these two guys sitting next to me right here. I think when you point at us and how's this happening, why are we here, it starts with these two guys, their leadership, their competitiveness, and really living every day what we want the foundation of our program to be. And there's nowhere else on the planet I'd rather be than right here, right now. Looking at Coach Gilmore and Coastal, this is a long time coming. This is not a surprise to me, knowing what that program has stood for a long period of time, the way they're coached, the amount of good players that they've had. And I'm very proud to say when I look at their team, just initially, I see a lot of characteristics I see in our team, and I think it's going to be a great series, and we're very excited to be here.
Hey, Jace, Eric Olson with the AP. Speaking of pitching, could you give us an update on Bannister and what maybe the diagnosis was on him after a couple days?
Yeah, he had an injury 3 summers ago in the Cape Cod League, and it was like a strained forearm. And to me, when I went out to the mound, he said it just didn't feel like he had anything on the ball, and it felt a little bit tight. I was encouraged. He threw a couple pitches after that when we were standing out there, and he looked okay. But we're not sitting here in this situation without that young man and what he's accomplished really from the first weekend of the season till now, and there was no way we were going to let him continue in that game. Probably the most encouraging sign was yesterday. He said he felt like he normally did after he started a game, which was good. So we're going to evaluate it again today, do the same thing tomorrow and Wednesday, and figure out where he's at each day.
So is he ruled out?
I have not ruled him out, no.
Jason Patterson, Eye on the College World Series. This is for both coaches. You share in common it's your first time here. Has it sped up, slowed down your routine? What's it been like? And the second part of that question, have you looked to anybody specific for advice or input that's been here before?
Jay, start.
Yeah, as far as how it's gone in the routine, I had maybe a thought in my mind, having a day off in between games, you might have a little bit more downtime. In the regional, we played 4 games in 32 hours. I mean, doubleheader almost in one day. It certainly wasn't like that, which was good. The best advice that I got was from Sean Miller, our basketball coach, and he said, you need to look at this like you've accomplished a lot already, and it's a great accomplishment in being here, and don't let anybody tell you any different. And he said, make sure your players enjoy or see you enjoying this experience with them. And I think we've combined really well, which I think reflects our team, is enjoying the opportunities in front of us and preparing and playing at an extremely high level while we're doing that.
Lou Pavlovich, Collegiate Baseball. This is for Jay. I'm curious, it's quite a departure from Arizona baseball. Usually there's a lot of home games to start the season, but you started on the road and played a lot of games on the road against really tough teams. How did that impact the rest of the season and you getting to where you are now, and then late in the season you played a lot of road games and did well, and you're here now? So.
Well, I have a problem. I guess you would call it an addiction. Is I look at WarrenNolan.com like 17 times a day, and that is, basically where I get my NCAA RPI information. And my team at Nevada last year was one of the best teams in the country, and we didn't get into the NCAA tournament with an RPI of like 50, and it was a 41-win team, and I vowed that day I was never going to let that happen again. And so I got the schedule. We moved 2 home series to the road. We added, a couple really good opponents. And people are like, hey, you're in the Pac-12. You don't need to do that anymore. Well, I'm really glad that we did it that way because it set us up, very good for an at-large bid, potentially to host. And it has everything to do with that. Now, I think there was some other benefits that came along with that. You get to go to a Rice and open the season and have some success. I think that did a lot for confidence. We went to the Tony Gwynn Classic in San Diego the second weekend and played Tulane, who played in a regional final, played Nebraska, who was in a regional, and that was a very NCAA tournament type feel deal. And with a group of guys that have never played in the NCAA tournament before, I feel like that was really beneficial for our team.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Jay, first year at a program can often be a real whirlwind from the get-go. Was there any point where you allowed yourself to envision how and when this season would end for you guys? Back early in the process of getting ready, and I assume it probably never involved sitting next to that trophy.
I've been asked about that a lot. I really believe in what we try to pass along to the guys and focus on the now and today. And for instance, in the fall, it wasn't about getting, to the College World Series at that point, okay? Like Coach Gilmore, we invest a lot of time on the road, and you're watching player after player after player. And I know how hard his staff works because I see him all the time. And then, the late nights in the cages with guys and all those types of things. I just believe in doing it that way and throwing yourself into it, ripping your heart out, throwing it on the field and going for it on a daily basis. And I just think if you do those things over a long period of time, you don't have to put any type of limitation on what you can accomplish. With that being said, I don't think there was ever a time that said, hey, this team's going to Omaha. I know, just like he, had to beat a bunch of good teams. It's really impressive what they've done to get to the championship series and the big name programs that they beat. We had to do the same thing. And I feel like our players' ability to embrace only what's right in front of them is why we're here. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words with our guys sometimes and some of the stuff they do. I respect how much they do to prepare and how the professionalism that they've played with. And so my feeling on it is, they should have fun. They earn the right to have our dugout be the place they want to be worse than any place in the world.